Hello. 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 Boys and girls and everybody else. Welcome to tonight's ASMR experience, where we're going to try and fall asleep together. Thank you for choosing me to help you sleep. I really would love for you to get into a comfortable position. Comfortable position. Whether you're in your bed too, whether you're on a chair, perhaps. Maybe you're on transport, in a car, or in a plane, or on a train. I just really would love for you to make yourself comfortable. Get cuddled up, nice and relaxed, nice and relaxed, so that you can hopefully fall fast asleep with me today. We're just going to, spend some time relaxing ourselves. I have a bedtime story for you as well. I've got personal attention. We're just really gonna slow it down so that we can both fall asleep. Maybe your eyes are getting heavy, like mine. Maybe your breathing is slowing down. So please take some deep breaths for me. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. And breathe in and out. And just see if you can keep up those deep breaths. Deep, deep breaths. While we just relax your body. So if you play along with me, I want you to just squeeze your toes right now, wherever you are. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze those toes, curl them, and then release. Relax. Let your toes just fall asleep. And then I want you to scrunch them one more time and feel the balls of your feet and the underside, the soles of your feet. Focus on the contraction of those muscles and then release. Let your feet just fall silent and relax. Rather than focusing on the intricate muscles of your feet, I want you to flex your feet towards you. Flex them up like so. And feel the muscles around your ankles and your lower calf tighten, strengthen, and then release. Relax. Let your feet and your lower legs just fall asleep. Then I want you to bend your knees. You'll feel all your muscles contract around your knees. Now you've done a really good job today. And then relax, release. Pop your leg back into a straightened position. Let the stress and tension fade away. Good night to your knees. We're going to move up to your glutes, so your gluteus medius, gluteus minimus, and gluteus maximus. I want you to clench your bottom, and you will feel those muscles tighten. They're really strong and they're really great at supporting your movement throughout the day. And then I want you to just release. Let that stress just fade away. Good night to your legs. Sweet dreams. And we're going to move to your stomach. And I want you to just suck in as if you were maybe standing in the front of a mirror. And naturally we tend to just slightly adjust ourselves and pull in our stomach using our abdominal muscles. I want you to do that now, and you will feel your abdominal muscles engage. And then I want you to release. Let it all hang loose. And let all that tension disappear and fade away. Just let it relax. Good night to your tummy. Sweet dreams. And then as you move up to your chest, I want you to take a really deep breath in. Feel your chest expand and all your intercostal muscles contract, and then breathe out. And your ribcage collapses and moves in, and all the stress, all the tension in your chest just fades away. Night night to your chest. Sweet dreams. And you're going to move to your shoulders, and I want you to shrug your shoulders. Bring them close up to your ears, and you will feel quite a lot of tension and stress in and around your trapezius muscles and your deltoid and your rotator cuff. And I just want you to really feel those contractions soften and move that we make when we're stressed and tense and we don't realize that we have to relax. And then release. Just bring your shoulders back to where they naturally would lie. And feel that tension just fade away. Fade away. And then down to your biceps. I want you to tighten your biceps. Use some guns. My guns are gone now because I have not been doing any weightlifting at all. latter half of the pandemic lockdown. But yeah, feel your biceps and triceps just contract. And then release. Relax. Let that stress fade away. And moving down to your forearm, I want you to just flex your wrist like so. And you'll feel the muscles along the inside of your forearm just contract, tighten. And then I want you to just release. Let it go to sleep. And then to your fingers and your fist, I want you to just clench like so. You'll feel all the intricate muscles in and around your fingers contract and tighten and build with stress and lactic acid. And then release. Just let your hands flop, your arm flop. It should feel really heavy now. Relax. Good night to your arms. Sweet dreams. And we move to your neck. I want you to tuck your chin into your chest. And you'll feel the muscles in the back of your neck contract and tighten. I want you to really feel that strain. And then release. Relax. Let it just melt away. And similarly, you want to just reach back with your neck like so. And you'll feel the muscles at the front of your neck contract and tighten. And then release back to normal position. Good night to your neck. Sweet dreams, neck. And then to your face and your head, I want you to just smile really wide. Feel all your cheeks really contract, all the facial muscles. And release. Just bring yourself to a neutral facial expression. And let that tension just fade away. And then I want you to squeeze your eyes shut like this. You'll feel all the muscles around your orbital socket just contract and strengthen and tension increases. And then release. Bring your eyes back to a neutral position. Feel the weight lifted off your face. Feel relaxed. And finally raise your eyebrows as high as they'll go. Like you're very surprised. Like this. And you might get little wrinkles on your forehead. But if you just feel that tension there that builds in your forehead. And then release. Relax. Let yourself just unwind. Brilliant. Let's say goodnight to your face. Good night to your body. You should now be fully relaxed and ready to let sleep just invite you into a warm embrace whenever you're ready. For those of you who are still awake, I'm going to do the dot line game because I know so many of you love it, and it's a really personal thing and really helps you feel touch. So we're going to do that now before I read you a bedtime story. Okay. So you can close your eyes and imagine that this is touching you. Dot, dot, line, line, spiders crawling up your spine. Tight, crack an egg on your head. And now you've got the shiveries. Dot, dot, line, line. Spiders crawling up your spine. Tight squeeze, cool breeze. Crack an egg on your head. And now you've got the shiveries. One more time, okay? Dot, dot, line, line. Spiders crawling up your spine. Tight squeeze, cool breeze. Crack an egg on your head. And now you got the shiveries. Okay. So I've got a little story for you called 3 Questions. It once occurred to a certain king that if he always knew the right time to begin everything, if he knew who were the right people to listen to and whom to avoid, and above all, if he always knew what was the most important thing to do, he would never fail in anything he might undertake. And this thought, having occurred to him, he had it proclaimed throughout his kingdom that he would give a great reward to anyone who would teach him what was the right time for every action, and who were the most necessary people, and how he might know what was the most important thing to do. And learned men came to the king, but they all answered his questions differently. In reply to the first question, some said that to know the right time for every action, one must draw up in advance a table of days, months, and years, and must live strictly according to it. Only thus, said they, could everything be done at its proper time. Others declared that it was impossible to decide beforehand the right time for every action, but that not letting oneself be absorbed in idle pastimes, one should always attend to all that was going on, and then do what was most needful. Others, again, said that however attentive the king might be to what the right time for every action was, it was impossible for one man to decide correctly the right time, but that he should have a council of wise men who would help him to fix the proper time for everything. But then again, others said there were some things which could not wait to be laid before a council, but about which one had at once to decide whether to undertake them or not. But in order to decide that, one must know beforehand what was going to happen. It is only magicians who know that, and therefore, in order to know the right time for every action, one must consult magicians. Equally various were the answers to the second question. Some said the people the king most needed were his counsellors, others the priests, others the doctors, while some said the warriors were most necessary. To the third question, as to what was the most important occupation, some replied that the most important thing in the world was science. Others said it was skill in warfare, and others again said that it was religious worship. All the answers being different, the king agreed with none of them and gave the reward to none. But still wishing to find the right answers to his questions, he decided to consult a hermit, widely renowned for his wisdom. The hermit lived in a wood which he never quitted, and he received none but common folk. So the king put on simple clothes, and before reaching the hermit's cell, dismounted from his horse, leaving his bodyguard behind, and went on alone. When the king approached, the hermit was digging the ground in front of his hut. Seeing the king, he greeted him and went on digging. The hermit was frail and weak, and each time he struck his spade into the ground and turned a little earth, he breathed very heavily. The king went up to him and said, "I have come to you, wise hermit, to ask you to answer 3 questions. How can I learn to do the right thing at the right time? Who are the people I most need, and to whom should I therefore pay more attention than to the rest? And what affairs are the most important and need my first attention?" The hermit listened to the king but answered nothing. He just spat on his hand and recommenced digging. "You're tired," said the king. "Let me take the spade and work a while for you." "Thanks," said the hermit, and giving the spade to the king, he sat down on the ground. When he had dug 2 beds, the king stopped and repeated his questions. The hermit gave no answer, but rose, stretched out his hand for the spade and said, "Now rest a while and let me work a bit." But the king did not give him the spade and continued to dig. 1 hour passed and another. The sun began to sink behind the trees, and the king at last stuck the spade into the ground and said, "I came to you, wise man, for an answer to my questions. If you can give me none, tell me so and I will return home." "Here comes someone running," said the hermit. "Let us see who it is." The king turned round and saw a bearded man come running out of the woods. The man held his hands, pressed them against his stomach, and blood was flowing from under them. When he reached the king, he fell fainting to the ground, moaning feebly. The king and the hermit unfastened the man's clothing. There was a large wound to his stomach. The king washed it as best as he could, bandaged it with his handkerchief and with a towel the hermit had. But the blood would not stop flowing, and the king again and again removed the bandage, soaked with the warm blood, and washed and rebandaged the wound. When at last the blood ceased flowing, the man revived and asked for something to drink. The king brought fresh water and gave it to him. Meanwhile the sun had set, and it had become cool. So the king, with the hermit's help, carried the wounded man into the hut and laid him on the bed. Lying on the bed, the man closed his eyes and was quiet. But the king was so tired with his walk and with the work he had done that he crouched down on the threshold and also fell asleep, so soundly that he slept all through the short summer night. When he awoke in the morning, it was long before he could remember where he was, or he was a strange bearded man lying on the bed, gazing intently at him with shining eyes. "Forgive me," said the bearded man in a weak voice, when he saw that the king was awake and was looking at him. "I do not know you, and have nothing to forgive you for," said the king. "You do not know me, but I know you. I am that enemy of yours who swore to revenge himself on you because you executed his brother and seized his property. I knew you had gone alone to see the hermit, and I resolved to kill you on your way back. But the day passed and you did not return. So I came out from my ambush to find you, and I came upon your bodyguard, and they recognized me and wounded me. I escaped from them, but should have bled to death had you not dressed my wound. I wished to kill you, and you have saved my life. Now if I live, and if you wish it, I will serve you as your most faithful slave, and will bid my sons to do the same. Forgive me." The king was very glad to have made peace with his enemy so easily, and to have gained him for a friend, and he not only forgave him, but said he would send his servants and his own physician to tend him, and promised to restore his property. Having taken leave of the wounded man, the king went out into the porch and looked around for the hermit. Before going away, he wished once more to beg an answer to the questions he had put. The hermit was outside on his knees, sowing seeds in the beds that had been dug the day before. The king approached him and said, the last time I pray you answer my questions, wise man. You have already been answered, said the hermit, still crouching on his thin legs and looking up at the king who stood before him. How answered? What do you mean? Asked the king. Do you not see, replied the hermit, if you had not pitied my weakness yesterday and had not dug those beds for me, but had gone your way, that man would have attacked you, and you would have repented of not having stayed with me. So the most important time was when you were digging the beds, and I was the most important man, and to do me good was your most important business. Afterwards, when the man ran to us, the most important time was when you were attending to him, for if you had not bound up his wounds, he would have died, without having made peace with you. So he was the most important man, and what you did for him was your most important business. Remember then, there is only one time that is important. Now. It is the most important time because it is the only time when we have any power. The most necessary man is he with whom you are, for no man knows whether he will ever have dealings with anyone else, and the most important affair is to do him good, because for that purpose alone was the man sent into this life. I very much like that message. It was a good story. I'm sure you would agree. And I hope you're feeling a lot more sleepy now. As am I. I really like a story with a good message. Just close your eyes. Close your eyes. Close. Close your eyes. And there's nothing to worry about. Just close your eyes. Just close your eyes and just let the stress of today just fade away. It's your time to just rest, fall asleep. This is your time for you only. So just relax.